The early morning sun was just beginning to rise over the quiet Florida neighborhood, painting the sky in soft gold and blush pink. Inside the Thomas family home, the house was unusually still until the silence was broken by a gentle groan from Annie. She shifted in bed, placing a hand on her growing belly. She was 39 weeks pregnant, officially full term, but today felt different. Robert stirred beside her. "You okay, babe?" he mumbled, still half asleep. "I think, maybe, it's time," Annie whispered, a nervous smile spreading across her face. Her voice was calm, but her heart was racing. Robert bolted upright like he'd been struck by lightning. "Wait, what? For real? Like, time?" Annie nodded, wincing slightly as another contraction rolled through her. "Yes, Robert, it's happening." Suddenly the peaceful morning transformed into a flurry of excitement, nerves, and half-packed bags. Robert, ever the loving but chaotic partner fans had come to adore, began rushing around the house grabbing everything from baby wipes to snacks, trying to remember what was on the hospital list Annie had made weeks ago. "Where's the car seat? Where's the my god? Where's my phone? I need to tell mama." "Calm down," Annie laughed through the pain, watching her husband spin in circles. "This is not your first baby. You should be a pro by now." Robert paused, sheepishly rubbing the back of his neck. "Yeah, but this is our baby. It's different." Annie's expression softened. He was right, it was different. Hours later, the couple found themselves in the cozy maternity suite at the hospital. The walls were decorated in soft hues of blue and cream, with little stars painted along the top border. The mood was both calm and electric with anticipation. Robert never left Annie's side. He held her hand, brushed hair from her face, and whispered words of encouragement in her ear. The nurses and doctors commented on how sweet and attentive he was, something Annie already knew. Despite the pain, Annie remained radiant. Her strength was evident in every breath, every push, every moment she fought through the exhaustion. And finally, after hours of labor, the sound they had been waiting for pierced the room, a tiny, high-pitched cry. Tears immediately streamed down Annie's face. Robert clutched her hand tighter, his own eyes wide and wet with emotion. "It's a boy," the doctor announced joyfully, "a healthy baby boy." As the newborn was placed on Annie's chest, a hush fell over the room. The baby was perfect, tiny fingers curled up into fists, a dusting of dark hair on his head, and the sweetest button nose. His cries softened as he felt the warmth of his mother's skin and heard the familiar rhythm of her heartbeat. "Mi amor," Annie whispered, brushing a tear away as she looked into her son's face for the first time. "You're finally here." Robert leaned over them both, overcome with emotion. "He's beautiful," he said softly, "just like his mama." They named him Mateo Andres Thomas, a name that blended their Dominican-American love story, honoring Annie's roots and Robert's family. Robert cradled his newborn son in his arms for the first time, sitting by the window as the golden afternoon sunlight bathed the room. He looked down at Mateo's sleepy face and felt something shift inside him, a deeper sense of purpose, a fiercer kind of love. "I'm gonna protect you," he whispered. "I promise." Annie watched them from her bed, overwhelmed by the sight of the two men who now held her whole heart. Back home, Robert's son Bryson couldn't contain his excitement. As soon as he heard the news, he began jumping up and down. "I have a baby brother? For real?" "Yes, for real," Robert said over FaceTime, showing Mateo wrapped up in a soft blue blanket. "You're a big brother now." Bryson beamed with pride. "I'm gonna teach him everything, like how to build Legos, and how to dance. And can I give him my dinosaur?" Annie, resting in her hospital bed, laughed. "Of course, mi amor. He's going to love you so much." Bryson gave them a big thumbs up and yelled, "Best day ever." A few days later, the family returned home. The house, once filled with anticipation, was now filled with baby coos, diaper changes, and lullabies humming in the background. Annie moved gracefully through the new routine of motherhood, feeding, rocking, soothing, always with a serene warmth. Robert, too, adapted quickly. He became a master swaddler, a late-night diaper changer, and a champion burp patter. But more than anything, he became the kind of dad that little Mateo would one day look up to. Even the fans, always eager to keep up with their journey, were smitten when Annie shared the first photo of baby Mateo on Instagram. The image was a candid Annie holding her son close, her eyes closed, forehead against his, a soft glow bathing them both. The caption simply read, "He is everything I dreamed of and more. Welcome to the world, Mateo Andres." Within minutes, the post was flooded with thousands of comments and likes. "Congratulations, Queen. Such a beautiful family. I'm crying." Robert's heart is going to explode. I just know it. As the weeks passed, life slowly began to settle into a new rhythm. There were sleepless nights, of course, times when Mateo would cry for hours, and both Annie and Robert would take turns pacing the floor with tired eyes and loving patience. But there were also magical moments: the first time Mateo smiled in his sleep, the way he curled his fingers around Annie's thumb, the way Robert sang lullabies in his silly voice until both baby and mama giggled. One night, as they sat on the couch, Annie resting her head on Robert's shoulder while Mateo slept in her arms, she whispered, "I never imagined life would be like this." Robert kissed her forehead. "Yeah, neither did I, but I'm so glad it is." There was a quiet understanding between them in that moment. Their journey, spanning 2 countries, cultural differences, and all the challenges that came with blending a family, had led them here, to this quiet, beautiful moment with their son. Months later, the 90-day Fiancé cameras returned to catch up with them for a special segment. Fans watched as Annie walked through the park with Mateo in a stroller, Bryson at her side. Robert, always the jokester, followed behind pretending to be the security guard for his celebrity baby. Annie rolled her eyes lovingly. "He's not famous, he's famous to me," Robert replied, lifting Mateo out of the stroller and into the air. The baby squealed with laughter. The segment ended with a backyard barbecue, Robert flipping burgers, Annie setting the table, Bryson showing off his new Big Bro t-shirt, and in the center of it all, baby Mateo, nestled in a baby swing, cooing and gurgling happily. "I feel like this is just the beginning," Annie said during her interview. "Our story isn't just about love across countries, it's about building a family, about patience, about growing together. Mateo is the best gift we've ever received," Robert added with a grin. "He's got her eyes and my charm. The world better be ready."